Welcome back, guys. It is Thursday, and today we are going to be building our own farm. So everybody should have had an animal included. We don't know what animal you had, so you obviously do. So you have to build your pen because you're the farmer of your animal. Well, me and Haley here, we ended up with a pig. You might not can see it from there, but it's a pig. So we have to build a perfect pen to make sure that this pig stays healthy and has everything that it needs to live and to survive. Alright, so everybody's pen is going to be different depending on what animal you have. Let's just say you have a chicken. You might have to have a fully covered pen to ensure that your chickens do not fly out of the pen. So for our pen, we're going to half cover and leave the other half open. So therefore it can go into shelter and then it can come out and be exposed to sunlight. I want you to use anything you want, anything around your house. Make sure you look in your recycling bin and see if you can use anything. We included toilet paper rolls. You can use these as maybe barrels to hold your feed. Or you can cut them and maybe use it as a feeding trough. If you have hay or straw, you can use grass out in your yard, and you can use that for your animals to lay on. We included paper towels in ours. Maybe we can use this for mud for our pig. Popsicle sticks, we can use this to build a fence. And we also have different colors of construction paper. We have green that we can use for the grass and different other colors just in case we want to do anything else. Alright, so you may have a hot glue gun. If you have a hot glue gun, that will work perfect whenever it comes to putting your fence together. If you want it to stay up, it's important to make sure it is at an angle. Putting it at an angle will hold it up instead of having to glue it down to the bottom. Also, if you don't have a container, maybe you have a box, or you can also just use a regular piece of paper. Alright, Haley, so let's get started. For the ground, what do you think that we should do?
I think when we do under the shelter, we should have dirt under the shelter, and then the rest out of the shelter, I think it should be grass. And then the pigs, they're going to need a little mud hole, so we need to put mud somewhere in the inside of our pen.
Also, we have the straw, and they love to lay in straw whenever they rest. So that'd be a great idea to include on the inside. All right, let's get started. Alright, I cut my paper so it fit just perfect out the bottom.
And what does that represent? Does that represent our grass?
Yeah, that's going to be our grass. Alright, do you want to get started on the dirt for the inside of the pen? And then I'll get started on the mud pile that we'll have on the outside. Haley, do you know why pigs wallow in mud?
So they can cool off.
Yeah, because they actually don't sweat. So they have to wallow in mud to cool down.
So this khaki colored paper is going to represent our dirt that's going to be under our shelter.
Yeah.
And this brown paper towel is going to represent our mud hole.
Alright. Just to make sure that the pig does stay warm and has a nice spot to sleep, we're going to put some hay down. Alright, Haley, let's get started on that fence.
Okay. So if you don't have a hot glue gun at home, you can always use tape to hold your popsicle sticks together. I'm only holding it and the tape is holding it together. But if you have a hot glue gun, you can use that too.
Alright, for our fence, we're going to do an angled fence. Just like this, so it stands up easier, like we talked about in the beginning. So Haley's going to give you an example of that. Alright, so we have our 2 sections of panels, just like this. Now Haley did use a hot glue gun, and if you choose to use a hot glue gun, make sure that you have your parents' help, so you are taking all safety precautions. If you don't have a parent around, you can just use tape like we did here. Alright, so we have to figure out, Haley, how we are going to make this stand up. Do you remember what I said earlier, how we were going to angle it?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, so let's try to do that. Alright, while we're waiting on that to dry, we can move on to other features that we're going to include. So, what are some necessities that animals need to survive?
Food.
Definitely, and water.
Yep.
So, let's make our pig a feeding trough. I think that'd make a pretty good feeding trough. But we have to add something to the sides. So I'm going to use what was left over from the cut top, and I'm just going to tape that down to the sides. Thank you. All right, so we can add it. Where do you think we should add it? Right here? Perfect. All right, and it also needs water. Think we could use one of these cups or another toilet paper roll and cut it this way?
Either one.
I think this one's going to be easier. All right, and now we have our water. Okay, so since we have blue paper, maybe we can cut some of that up.
And that can serve as our water.
And that can look like the water.
And we can use a piece of the yellow paper, and that can be our feed.
Yeah, because pigs love to eat corn. All right. What else do you think that the pig needs to include? I remember whenever I had a pig, sometimes it would get super cold. So maybe you would need a heat lamp. A heat lamp is something super easy that you can make. All you have to do is get a piece of paper. And roll it into a cone. And maybe we can add our heat lamp right here above where our pig would sleep. And that would just make sure that the pig would stay warm at night. So our last thing that we're going to include would be our cover. So if it does rain, the pig can come inside and stay dry while it sleeps, and it can always come outside and use the bathroom and swim in the mud.
You want to use one of these?
All right. So to make the covered shelter, we're just going to tape down the sides. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just going to fold the top here. So that whenever we want to check on our little pig inside, we can just uncover and see the inside. So that is our little pig farm. I think our pig would be pretty happy.
I do too. He's got everything he needs.
Oh, we forgot something. We didn't name our pig.
What do you want to name it?
I don't know. Maybe we should let them choose. So tomorrow at Show and Tell, you should tell us what we should name our pig. All right. Have a great day. Can't wait to see your farm.